Well, let's speak to Alison McGee-Barker from AJ Lakes Consulting. Alison, thanks for joining us. How busy is the county going to be? What do you think?
Oh, it's going to be very busy, and everybody's right. We've got an abundance of bookings coming in. Lots of holiday letting agents are reporting that already most of the cottages are fully booked. And hotels, bed and breakfasts are following the way. They are slightly delayed, but they are actually coming in fast and thick and fast at the moment.
How's that gone down, Alison? Self-catering, the first to open. How's that gone down with hotels?
There's been some hotels trying to work out how they can make the accommodation self-contained with their own exit. It has been tough because obviously the fixed ongoing costs are still there, and they will increase dramatically as they reopen. So it is a difficult one because people are wanting to get the businesses up and running and start to have an economy moving again. And so I can understand there's a little frustration out there, but everybody's now in planning mode trying to get the staffing ready to reopen.
Staffing was an issue, sort of talked about when we left the European Union, concerns about European staff and so forth. Do you know that is going to be an issue, or have people managed to find people to populate their self-catering accommodation, their hotels and things like that?
It depends on businesses at the moment, to be fair, Adam. There's some businesses really struggling to find some staff. Some haven't thought that there's going to be a shortage. And of course, if you can imagine running your business on 100% occupancy moving forward, then you need the staff to be able to adhere to that. And that's the thing that a lot of businesses haven't yet planned for. And that's something that they need to plan pretty quick because it's coming very fast now.
Why haven't they planned? They're sort of used to this lockdown mode, are they? And they can't see it happening? What's their mindset?
Well, some people think that the ones on furlough will just automatically come back. The issue I have is speaking to people who've been on furlough for some time have found other ways to get income. Some people have found other jobs. Some people have moved careers. And the issue that they'll find if they've not been communicating throughout their furlough team and getting the inductions ready for them returning to work and how that looks like, because the world is different. Their work, their business will be very different to how they left it. And of course, you won't have people forgiving you if you don't get it right. They'll
in terms
only
of
take
customers,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, customers, yeah.
You mentioned that prices and things like that. We know for a fact that prices have gone up. I mean, what's been the reaction then within, hospitality, tourism, and possibly elsewhere then to this hike in prices?
Yeah, and this is something that I would strongly recommend. Be very, very mindful and very careful on your pricing strategy. If you think that if you, for example, were charging £1,000 for a week 2 years ago, and then you've put it up to £1,800 a week this year because you think I'm going to claw back some money. I appreciate financial constraints has been really difficult in the last year. However, to sustain a Lake District future, a Cumbria future for hospitality, and to ensure that your guests who will come back and be your ambassadors for the future and not go abroad the year after because it's so far cheaper to go abroad in the long term, you've got to be mindful, and you can't put the prices up. You can put the prices up, but not so dramatic. There's some businesses, national businesses, feeling it okay to actually inflate their prices dramatically, and that will not go down very well. And when you look at it on an ongoing basis, you'll get upset guests because they will expect a higher standard. They will expect to be having a service delivered that commands that price. And if you don't follow through on that, you may have a massive problem. And the sustainability for the future will be actually damaged. And that's what we don't want for our county.
A very good point. And that order of increase that you just cited in that example, I mean, 80% increase. Are we seeing figures like that?
There has been figures that I have been sent from guests who are looking to come into the area and saying, do you know anywhere cheaper, because I could go abroad a lot cheaper, but because of the government restraints at the moment, whether they have to have a 10-day stay in a hotel, they're looking for staycation. And I thought, gosh, if that message is already going out there, that's not acceptable. And it's, you know, especially because they've looked at prices in the past. So it's being transparent, it's being open and honest, and it's being delivering the service that you command the price for. So make sure that if you have increased your prices dramatically, what have you done differently to previous years, and what is your unique selling point, and why would your guests pay that? And if it's something that you value your worth, fair enough, that's okay. But do it in the form of making sure that it is a value for the customer as well, that they will continue to come back and support you in the future, not just a one-time stay.
Alison, you've turned into a bit of a Dalek there. Your phone signal's going a bit. I've got one more question, though.
Sorry.
I mean, you're back again. You're okay. I was just going to say, but some people, that may be out of their hands because for whatever reason, some of the big companies that they're putting their holiday let through have decided to hike it up. So sometimes it's not actually the individual property owner that's behind all this. Is it perhaps the big business who want to claw some money back?
It is, and I appreciate that. However, it's not going to sustain it long term. This is what is worrying me massively. I appreciate it, but if you're the owner of that property and your agent is actually acting on your behalf, that agent is only getting 15 to 20%, for example, of that commission. So with all due respect, it's not going to massively impact them if you say, no, this is our value for our property. You don't want to get bad reviews. You don't want to be in a position where your customers are unhappy. You don't want to be in a position where you don't have return guests in the future and you're having to use those agents or third-party websites to fill up because you've not got your sales and marketing strategy correct.
Alison, always good to hear from you. Alison McGee-Barker from AJ Lakes Consulting, and her concerns about the restart of the season next month, particularly for self-catering accommodation, which could open, we think will open April the 12th.